Welcome everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel. There's a new movie on Amazon called Jackpot, and after seeing the trailer where they were revealing biometrics and the future of the Freemasonic lottery, which of course is a creation of the Freemasons, no regular civilians ever win the mega lotteries. It's a creation of the Freemasons. I have videos on the lottery, but the film is called Jackpot, and they were showing biometric data in the future in the trailer and how the lottery ticket was going to be run via biometric data. So I watched the movie, at least skimmed through the majority of the movie, to see what the premise was and if there was anything I could cover as far as predictive programming goes. And of course, it was filled with things that people need to see, because we know that they are training people through these films to accept the new waves of technology that are going to eventually enslave them. They desensitize them through these films. And there's a lot of stuff in here in relation to DARPA and using the cell phone as a directed energy weapon. So let me start with the obvious things in this film. And this is a very important video, so I recommend you stick around until the end. I'm going to show you some of the predictive programming from the film, as well as other things involving DARPA, Tesla, and movies like Cell, which show us the same type of programming. So the plot of the film is that this person wins the lottery, and everybody has until the end of the day to murder this person. And if you murder that person, you then receive their winnings. Very similar to the theme of The Purge, right? At sundown, all rules are off, all laws are off. And of course, you're allowed to kill, you're allowed to commit crimes. And Purge, very similar, right? You're allowed to kill the person who was selected to win the lottery, and then you get their money. Kind of how they're training people in today's world to think that everything belongs to them, right? This is also subliminally training them into a communist society where everything is owned by everyone and nobody has anything above or below anybody else because we're all equal slaves to the system. So the film stars John Cena. That's another reason that I watched it, to see what was in it, because they're using John Cena a lot with a lot of these films, and I've covered him many times over the years. John Cena, of course, is notorious for being a professional wrestler. His sign that he holds up is the 666 sign, the most obvious symbol other than the all-seeing eye that we see. And of course, John Cena was training children out there to hold up this 666 sign, and John Cena still holds it up, even when he's spotted at sporting events. And when you look at John Cena, he's one of these guys that I look at that I just get this feeling over me of just some despicable acts that are done in secret. He's one of these prominent Masons, Satanists that's rolled out, that's always involved in activities with children. He's known to be like the most famous people involved with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which involves children. Remember how the Shriners act? The Shriners roll themselves out and talk about how they do all this stuff for charity for children, the Shriners hospitals. These are the people who flaunt themselves as being involved with helping out in the open, are most likely to be involved in doing the most disturbing acts in secret. So John Cena holding up the 666 sign. And part of the plot of the film, like I mentioned, is also that this takes place in the year 2030, which is something that caught my attention, because by 2030, we know a lot of these things with technology will be in place. And it also notes that the lottery is a record lottery for $3.6 billion. So you get your 666 as well, subliminally, right in the plot, right in plain sight. So you have the biometric data, and you also have drone surveillance, where this drone is flying around trying to locate this woman who won the lottery so that people could track her down and have an opportunity to kill her so that they could take all of the money that she supposedly has won, and it could become theirs. So one of the scenes in the film has them trapped in a underground bunker, which conveniently is owned by Machine Gun Kelly. And we know all these celebrities have underground bunkers and panic rooms, but they don't tell you why they have them. You're supposed to believe that civilians like us are just going to go and raid their homes, so they have panic rooms. Of course, we know they use these panic rooms and these underground bunkers for disturbing acts. And of course, they know what's coming in the future, and that's where they'll be hiding out. But they're hiding out in Machine Gun Kelly's panic room during the film because all of the civilians are coming after this woman so that they could kill her and take her money. And John Cena's character calls in what they call a phone strike. A phone strike, where frequencies are sent out of the phone that cause people to go crazy, that cause people to die, to catch fire. This is a common theme that we're seeing, and this is them revealing DARPA weapons, waveform, agile radio frequency directed energy weapons. They are starting to use predictive programming a lot to show us what they have the capability to do already. DARPA has the Warden device. The Warden device is a wireless energy transmission technology which was first developed by Tesla. Nikola Tesla developed this technology along with many other demonic technologies, including the earthquake machine that our government now has and uses on civilians. So DARPA has this weapon that they show you in this film, and they have the ability to do this to anyone out there who owns a cell phone. They have the ability to transmit frequencies to your brain. Now, remember last year, October 4th, when they had the giant emergency alert test. And of course, at that time, they sent frequencies out, and then they started putting out disinformation on their end, talking about how there was conspiracy theorists talking about DARPA using an energy weapon, a frequency weapon on civilians at that time. Now, of course, they mixed in notions with the magic potion and how people we actually may have a zombie apocalypse in a sense. And there was a lot of truth to that stuff, but of course they tried to make it a laughable notion that DARPA would actually have the ability, and our government, I should say, because DARPA is our government, would have the ability to transmit wireless energy frequencies at civilians. But let me show you this scene from the film where they call in the phone strike, and then all chaos breaks loose.
I don't know how either. Yeah. We need an urgent phone strike in our position, please. Yes? Give me your phone. Give me your phone.
What is a phone strike?
Gotta find out.
I got the gun.
Take that phone!
Amber alert? We get an Amber alert?
So that scene may look familiar to you because it looked a lot like the movie I've covered over the years called The Cell. And there's more than just The Cell where they've shown us using the phone as a weapon. We've seen movies, and I'll show you a compilation of them right now, such as The Happening. A lot of people out there might not remember the movie The Happening, but The Happening was really referencing the 5G towers and the frequencies that were being transmitted onto the civilians. The wind was blowing, and suddenly people were offing themselves and doing all sorts of terrible acts during that film. And of course, I've shown you the clip from Stretch Armstrong, where they literally show human beings being connected to these towers. Here's a compilation of some of the clips that look exactly like what they revealed with the phone strike in the movie Jackpot.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, buddy.
Terrorists, right? It's gotta be terrorists.
Don't use your cell phone.
People are gonna die.
You okay?
They act for the good of the group as a whole. They may be the next stage in human evolution. What's happening now is more than temporary anarchy. It's the start of a war.
Just like the infidel you are! Oh, if you now, you will eat your babies, you will drown!
Callahan, can you hear me?
I didn't expect it to be that effective.
What kind of response are we talking?
100%.
So everyone's been affected, whether they have a SIM card or not.
I can't stop this.
Were we supposed to stop here?
What's going on? You can't just leave us here.
We lost contact.
With whom?
Everyone.
There appears to be an event happening. It's some kind of attack. First stage is loss of speech. The second stage is physical disorientation. Third stage is fatal.
The attacks are spreading.
Boston, Philadelphia.
Maryland.
It's all over the country.
Authorities are now feeling that a terrorist group being responsible is becoming less and less likely.
She says everyone's dead outside.
Run.
Shut the windows and the doors! Here it comes!
Could this really be happening?
Stunned by the sudden rollout of Rook Unlimited's most fantastic device ever, the Smart Mark. Because the Smart Mark is more than just a phone. It's part of you. Use it as cash, book your travel, and even shoot video. Distribution points are all over the city. The Rook Unlimited Smart Mark is worth the wait.
I never realized how wonderful technology could make me feel. The Smart Mark has brought order to my life.
And the best part? It's absolutely free.
23% of the population has been given the Smart Mark, #1.
Time to test our system. Let's put our new recruits to work. Subtly.
We should find the Flex Fighters.
I ought to find the Flex Fighters.
You should find the Flex Fighters.
You call yourself a man of science. World order is our destiny. Submit to a Smart Mark and join the glorious victory of order over chaos.
People think Smart Marks are brand new Rook tech that will improve their lives. They don't know they're being tricked.
All Smart Marks so far. But your chip makes it possible to control everyone in Charter City, whether they're marked or not.
So what we're seeing is they're starting to reveal these things to us and desensitize people more and more to the technology that the government has and unleashes on the public. Most people out there would see it and they would just laugh that stuff off, but the film really shows you what the horror of their futuristic society looks like, right? They're talking about the year 2030, a biometric data already in place. You have surveillance and a surveillance state already in place where this drone is following this person around and then reporting to the public where they could find this person. Saying this person is here, we could go here and find this person and kill this person thanks to this type of technology, right? And of course, it's really all thanks to biometric data being able to identify the player. So I had to cover this film because a lot of people out there are not familiar with DARPA. They're not familiar with things like Warden, which again is something I showed you earlier in the video, the waveform, agile radio frequency directed energy weapon that our government has. And because we have this type of technology around us at all times, they made people so dependent on having a phone for everything. You literally can't even bank anymore without a phone. And they're making it so that you will not be able to live without a phone. Then you start thinking about the mark of the beast and how this does tie into the internet and how this does tie into biometric data. Because they're really, when you see a lot of these outbreaks occurring, for people out there that don't know how all this works, why they constantly are telling people to go and get magic potions in their body, and they tell you that it's really important that the oldest people out there go and get it, it's because this future society that they want, they know that the older the generations are that are still alive are also going to prevent them from moving forward with mandating technology in your life, because the older groups out there, people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who are still alive, are not on their cell phones. They are not on the internet. They have not evolved, which is really devolved, into this technological society that we live in. They've been trying to kill them off so that when they come forward, they say, look, you can't do anything with paper anymore. You can't file your taxes via the mail. You can't bank anymore with a check. Everything has to be done digitally. Thus, the mark of the beast. And thus, this plot conveniently has that $3.6 billion jackpot in a film that really is about the purge, normalizing this type of behavior that we see. Because throughout the film, they show you California and people in California, you know, just like we see now on the news. Okay, people in California just beating each other up, attacking each other, the homelessness that they're promoting. And then in the film, it's the government themselves that are promoting that you have the ability to steal this jackpot from somebody else by ending their life. And it's legal. It's perfectly legal. That's the crazy thing about it, right? The government telling you it's perfectly legal for X amount of hours to go and commit this crime. Very common theme that we see, again, with the Purge films and other films out there where emergency services are down. Remember a few months ago, 911 was offline. Then again and again and again, people were not able to reach 911. Emergency services were off. That's what happens in the Purge movie as well. Lots of predictive programming, folks. Lots of truth in plain sight. They use these films. They show you the stuff that they actually have. This isn't conspiracy fodder. Showing you the cell phones being used as a phone weapon in the film. Anyone out there could go say to themselves, that's crazy. That's not something that's possible. And you could just look up for yourself the patents that DARPA has and the ability that they have to do these types of things through cell phones, through all sorts of different things that we've allowed them to put up around us, like those big towers that conveniently popped up while everybody was locked in their homes. And now you can't go 2 miles without seeing one in the middle of a farm or middle of a highway. Yeah, that's what's going on around us. Truth in plain sight. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you and your families, as always.